Good morning, David. You look fresh today. Did you sleep well?
Morning, Sarah. Yeah, I slept pretty well. I actually had a good morning routine today. What about you? How did your day start?
My day started pretty normally. I woke up at around 7 a.m., brushed my teeth, and made myself a cup of coffee. I can't start my day without coffee.
Same here. Coffee is the fuel of life. So after coffee, what do you usually do?
Well, after I drink my coffee, I usually take a quick shower, get dressed, and then I prepare a simple breakfast, something like toast or scrambled eggs. Nothing too fancy. What about you? What's your morning routine like?
My morning routine is a little different. I wake up around 6:30, stretch for a few minutes, and then go for a short jog. It helps me wake up and feel energetic. After that, I take a shower, get ready for work, and usually eat oatmeal or fruit for breakfast.
Wow, you jog in the morning? That's impressive. I don't think I could do that.
Haha, trust me, it wasn't easy at first, but now it's part of my routine. I feel strange if I don't do it.
That's cool. I should try adding a small workout to my morning, but I'm usually rushing.
Same for many people. A lot of us rush in the morning. So after breakfast, what do you do?
After breakfast, I check my bag to make sure I have everything: my phone, my laptop, my notebook. Then I leave for work around 8:15 a.m. I usually take the bus. It takes about 25 minutes.
Nice. I drive to work. It usually takes me 15 minutes if the traffic is not too bad.
Lucky you. My bus sometimes gets crowded.
Yeah, public transport can be unpredictable, but it's great for listening to music or podcasts.
Exactly. I listen to podcasts every morning. It's a good way to learn new things. Maybe our listeners are listening to this podcast during their morning routine.
Maybe. If you are, hello and good morning to you. So, Sarah, when you arrive at work, what's the first thing you usually do?
When I get to the office, the first thing I do is check my emails. I like to see if anything important came in overnight. After that, I make myself another cup of coffee, my second one of the day.
2 coffees already. You're a true coffee lover.
I know, but it helps me focus. After coffee, I look at my to-do list and plan my tasks for the day.
That's smart. I should start planning my tasks better. I usually jump straight into work without a clear plan.
Really? Doesn't that make your days stressful?
Sometimes, yes, but I'm trying to improve my routine. Anyway, after I arrive at the office, I usually greet my coworkers, grab some water, and then start working on my projects. Morning is my most productive time.
Same. I get the most work done before lunchtime. Speaking of which, what do you normally do for lunch?
I usually eat around 1 p.m. If I'm busy, I eat at my desk, but if it's a normal day, I go to the cafeteria with some colleagues. What about you?
I prefer bringing my lunch from home. It's healthier and saves money. But some days I join the cafeteria group too.
Nice. So after lunch, how do you usually continue your day?
After lunch, I feel a little sleepy, to be honest, so I take a short walk around the office. Then I check my emails again and continue my tasks. Afternoons are usually for meetings or teamwork.
Oh yes, afternoons and meetings. They go together. I usually have at least one meeting after lunch. If not, I work on reports or call clients.
Do you prefer mornings or afternoons?
Definitely mornings. Afternoons feel longer. What about you?
Same. I like mornings more because my energy is higher.
Makes sense. So what time do you finish work?
I usually finish around 5 p.m. Unless I have a deadline, then I stay a little longer. You?
My schedule is similar. I finish around 5:30 p.m. depending on the day.
And after work, do you go straight home?
Most days, yes, but sometimes I stop at the gym. I try to work out at least 3 times a week. It's part of my routine now.
That's good. I don't go to the gym, but I do like taking evening walks. It helps me clear my mind.
Walking is great. So what do you usually do after you get home?
I usually relax for a bit, maybe watch a short video or listen to music. Then I cook dinner. If I'm not too tired, I tidy up my room a little.
Sounds peaceful. My routine is similar. I eat dinner, shower, and then spend some time reading or watching a show.
Nice. Evening routines are so important. They help us unwind after a long day.
Sarah, I'm curious, do you have a fixed evening routine or does it change every day?
It's mostly fixed, but some days change a little. Usually after dinner, I relax for about an hour, then I do some light reading or plan the next day. I try to go to bed around 11 p.m.
That's a good bedtime. I try to sleep at 10:30 p.m., but sometimes work keeps me up later.
I understand. Sleep is so important. Without enough rest, the next day feels much harder.
Absolutely. By the way, do you include any hobbies in your routine?
Yes, a little. I love drawing, so I try to spend 15 to 20 minutes sketching in the evening, and sometimes I listen to English podcasts, like this one. It's a small but useful routine.
That's great. Learning while relaxing. I try to include exercise in my routine, like jogging in the morning or gym in the evening. It keeps me healthy and active.
That's good. I should start exercising more regularly. Maybe short walks or yoga in the morning?
Even 10 minutes makes a difference. So, besides exercise and hobbies, do you plan your day in advance?
Yes, planning helps a lot. Every morning, I write a small to-do list and check what's important. Sometimes I also check my calendar for meetings or deadlines.
I do the same. Planning is the key to a smooth day. Without a plan, I feel stressed and scattered.
Exactly. And if something unexpected happens, I just adjust my routine. Flexibility is important too.
True. So, Sarah, let's try something fun. Can you describe your whole day in one short paragraph as if you're telling a friend?
Sure. I wake up at 7 a.m., drink coffee, shower, and eat breakfast. Then I take the bus to work, check my emails, and complete my tasks. After lunch, I attend meetings and help coworkers. After work, I go home, cook dinner, relax, and read a little. Finally, I go to bed around 11 p.m.
Perfect. Now I'll try. I wake up at 6:30 a.m., jog, shower, and eat breakfast. Then I drive to work, attend meetings, and work on reports. After lunch, I continue working and call clients. After work, I go home, eat dinner, exercise or relax, and go to bed around 10:30 p.m.
See, short, clear sentences make it easy to explain your daily routine in English. Anyone can do this.
Yes, and you can also use phrases like I usually, I sometimes, I like to, and I try to. These are very useful for talking about routines.
Exactly. And don't worry about being perfect. Just try to speak and describe your day step by step.
That's a great tip. Now, let's talk about some common verbs we use when describing routines.
Good idea. Common verbs include wake up, get up, brush, shower, eat, drink, go, work, study, relax, watch, read, exercise, cook, clean, and sleep.
Yes, and you can combine them with words like usually, sometimes, and every day to make sentences more natural.
David, I think it's also important to talk about variations in routines. Not every day is the same, right?
Absolutely. Some days are busier, some are more relaxed. For example, on Mondays, I have more meetings, but Fridays are lighter. How about you?
Same. Some days I have deadlines or extra tasks, so I have to stay a little later at work. Other days I finish early and can spend more time relaxing or doing hobbies.
That's why it's good to use words like sometimes or usually. For example, you can say, I sometimes go for a walk after work, or I usually drink coffee in the morning.
Exactly. And it makes your English sound more natural. You're not just saying one fixed schedule, you're showing your real life.
Yes. Also, when talking about your routine, it's good to include small details. For example, instead of just saying, I eat breakfast, you can say, I usually eat toast with eggs and drink a cup of coffee. It gives more information and makes the conversation interesting.
I like that tip. Adding little details makes your English richer and more engaging. Another tip is to use transition words to connect your sentences, like then, after that, next, or finally.
Right. For example, I wake up at 6:30 a.m., then I go jogging. After that, I take a shower and eat breakfast. Next, I drive to work. Finally, I start my tasks. See, it flows naturally.
Yes, it's much easier to follow when you connect your sentences. Also, don't forget about the evenings. You can describe how you relax, what hobbies you do, or how you prepare for the next day.
Exactly. I sometimes write a to-do list for the next day before going to bed. It helps me sleep better because I know I'm ready.
That's a smart habit. And our listeners can start small too. Maybe just write down 1 or 2 sentences about their daily routine every day. Over time, it becomes easier to speak naturally in English.
Yes, another tip is to practice speaking with a friend or even alone. Try telling someone your routine out loud. It's great practice.
I also recommend listening to English podcasts or watching short videos about daily routines. You'll learn vocabulary and sentence structures that you can use.
Good point. And remember, everyone's routine is different. Don't worry if your routine is simple or unique. The goal is to express it clearly in English.
Exactly. You can also ask questions about someone else's routine. That makes conversations interactive. For example, what time do you wake up? Or do you usually exercise in the morning?
Yes, asking questions is a great way to keep a conversation going. It's part of everyday English practice.
So, to summarize today's tips, use common verbs like wake up, eat, go, work, study, relax. Add small details, use transition words, and talk about your routine clearly with words like usually, sometimes, and every day.
And don't forget to practice speaking, listen to English content, and ask questions to others about their routines. Small steps every day help a lot.
Exactly. Even just a few minutes of speaking or writing about your routine can improve your English quickly.
Sarah, I think it's helpful if we give our listeners some complete example routines. That way they can hear how to put everything together.
Great idea. I'll start. Here's an example of a weekday routine. I wake up at 7 a.m., brush my teeth, and drink a cup of coffee. Then I take a shower and get dressed. After that, I prepare breakfast, usually toast with eggs. I leave for work at 8:15 a.m. I check my emails, work on tasks, and attend meetings. At 1 p.m., I eat lunch. In the afternoon, I finish my work tasks, help coworkers, and sometimes take a short walk. I leave the office at 5 p.m., go home, cook dinner, relax for an hour, read a book, and go to bed around 11 p.m.
Nice. I'll give my example. I wake up at 6:30 a.m. and go for a short jog. After jogging, I take a shower and eat breakfast, usually oatmeal and fruit. I drive to work and start by checking emails. During the morning, I attend meetings and work on reports. At lunchtime, I eat with colleagues or at my desk. In the afternoon, I continue working and call clients. After work, I either go to the gym or take a walk. I eat dinner at home, watch a show, and go to bed around 10:30 p.m.
Perfect. These examples are simple but include lots of useful vocabulary. Listeners can copy the structure and insert their own routines.
Exactly. And you can also use words like sometimes, usually, always, and never to describe frequency. For example, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. or I sometimes go for a walk after lunch.
Yes, and phrases like I like to or I try to are very useful. For example, I like to drink coffee in the morning, or I try to relax in the evening.
Also, don't forget about time expressions. Words like in the morning, after lunch, in the afternoon, and before bed help your listener understand the sequence of your routine.
Right, sequence words are very important. We also mentioned transition words before. Then, after that, next, and finally. They make your routine sound more natural and fluent.
Another tip is to practice speaking about routines with friends. Ask each other questions like, what time do you wake up? What do you usually eat for breakfast? When do you go to work? What do you do after work?
Exactly. And you can also practice writing your routine in a short paragraph. Writing helps you remember vocabulary and sentence structures.
Yes, and even speaking out loud to yourself counts as practice. Try to describe your whole day from morning to night. It's very helpful.
One more thing, don't worry about mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning English. The important thing is to speak, practice, and improve step by step.
Absolutely. Consistency is key. A few minutes of practice every day is better than one long session once a week.
So true. And after some time, talking about your daily routine will become natural. You'll use the verbs, transition words, and frequency words without thinking too much.
Yes, and your English will sound much more fluent. You'll be able to have small conversations easily, even with new friends or coworkers.
All right. In the next part, we'll give some more examples, including weekend routines and fun activities, so learners can practice more variety.
Sarah, I think it's also useful for our listeners to talk about weekend routines. They're often different from weekdays.
Yes, weekends are usually more relaxed. For example, I wake up a little later, around 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Then I have a slow breakfast, maybe pancakes or cereal, and drink tea instead of coffee.
Nice. My weekend mornings are similar. I usually wake up around 7:30 a.m., have a smoothie, and sometimes go for a long walk or a bike ride. It feels good to start the day without rushing.
Exactly. On weekends, I also spend more time on hobbies. I might draw, listen to music, or read a book. Sometimes I meet friends for coffee or lunch.
Yes, social time is important too. I like going out with friends or visiting family. Sometimes I just relax at home and watch a movie. It's nice to recharge.
And weekends are great for small tasks too. I clean my room, do laundry, or prepare meals for the week. Even though it's relaxing, I still keep a small routine.
Exactly. Having a weekend routine doesn't mean you have to be strict. It's just a guide to make your day smoother and more enjoyable.
Right. And when talking about weekend routines in English, you can use words like usually, sometimes, or often. For example, I usually wake up late on weekends, or I sometimes go shopping with friends.
Another fun thing is describing hobbies or leisure activities. You can say, I like to watch movies, I enjoy listening to music, or I often read books in the afternoon.
Yes, these expressions are very useful. They help you talk about yourself naturally. And don't forget small daily habits like I make my bed or I water the plants. These little details make your conversation interesting.
Good point. Even small details count. For example, you can say, I always drink coffee in the morning, or I usually go for a walk after lunch. Listeners love hearing specifics.
Also, you can describe your weekend with sequences like we did before. For example, I wake up at 9 a.m. Then I make breakfast. After that, I clean the kitchen. Next, I read a book. Finally, I meet my friends in the evening.
Yes, it's important to practice sequencing, using words like then, after that, next, and finally makes your English sound smooth and easy to follow.
And one more tip, don't just practice describing your routine, listen to how other people describe theirs. You can watch short videos, listen to podcasts, or even read short diary entries. It helps you learn new words and phrases.
Absolutely. Learning from others is very effective. You can even write down new phrases and try using them in your own sentences.
Exactly. And remember, the goal is to speak naturally and confidently. Don't worry about being perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's part of learning.
Right. Consistent practice, even for 5 to 10 minutes a day, will improve your English a lot. Start with your daily routine, then try weekend routines, hobbies, and small activities.
Yes, over time, you'll notice improvement, and describing your day will feel easy and fun.
Great! In the next part, we'll give some practice exercises and tips for learners to reinforce everything we've discussed so far.
All right, David, now it's time to give our listeners some practice. It's one thing to listen, but speaking and writing your routine helps a lot.
Exactly. Here are a few simple exercises you can try. First, write down your weekday routine. Start with when you wake up and end with when you go to bed. Use words like usually, sometimes, always, and never.
Yes, for example, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. I always brush my teeth and drink coffee. I sometimes take a short walk in the morning. After work, I usually cook dinner and relax. Try writing a paragraph like this about your own day.
Second exercise. Practice speaking out loud. Take your written routine and read it to yourself. Try saying it clearly and slowly. You can also record yourself. It helps you notice your pronunciation and grammar.
Third exercise. Ask a friend or family member about their routine. You can use questions like, what time do you wake up? What do you usually eat for breakfast? Do you exercise every day? What do you do after work?
Yes, listening to others and answering questions helps you improve conversation skills in real life. And don't worry if you make mistakes. The important thing is to communicate.
Fourth exercise. Describe your weekend routine. Compare it to your weekday routine. For example, on weekdays, I wake up at 7 a.m., but on weekends, I wake up at 9 a.m. I usually relax more on weekends and spend time with friends.
Fifth tip, learn useful verbs and phrases. Some common ones we mentioned today are wake up, get up, brush, shower, eat, drink, go, work, study, relax, watch, read, exercise, cook, clean, sleep.
And don't forget frequency words and transitions. Words like usually, sometimes, always, never, then, after that, next, finally. Make your sentences more natural.
Finally, remember to practice a little every day. Even 5 minutes of speaking or writing about your routine will make a big difference over time.
Exactly. Small steps are better than trying to do everything at once. Practice consistently and your English will improve quickly.
Before we finish, let's give one more example, a short combined routine using transitions. I wake up at 7 a.m., then I brush my teeth and drink coffee. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. Next, I eat breakfast. I go to work and check my emails. Finally, I finish work, go home, eat dinner, and relax before bed.
Perfect. That's a simple and clear way to describe a whole day. Listeners, try making your own version and practice it every day.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you learned a lot about how to talk about your daily routine in English. Remember, short sentences, useful verbs, transition words, and a little practice every day will help you speak confidently.
Yes, thank you for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and don't be afraid to speak. Every day is an opportunity to improve your English.
We hope you enjoyed this conversation and that it inspires you to talk about your own routine in English. Keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode of Easy English Talks.
Sara and David, together. Bye!
Happy learning!